Duchscherer.
Hello, everybody. Oh, thanks for clapping for that. When my husband and I were first married, we were trying to get pregnant. We were having a hard time. And he suggested in vitro. Oh my God, I was so excited. I thought he met the hot Italian guy next door. Well, apparently not. Now he's watching us. You know, it's probably a good thing that I didn't have kids because I honestly find them weird and embarrassing. And you know what I mean. Nose picking, cape wearing, projectile vomiting, pants wetting, bed wetting. And they blurt out all sorts of personal information at very inopportune times. Well, I've already got a husband covering all of that, so why would I want children? You know, my husband does drive me crazy, but I find that drinking helps. Although, you know, I didn't want to hurt his feelings, so I actually told him I was an alcoholic. But, you know, he does irritate me, and the other day he admitted it. He said, you know, I do that on purpose just to give you new material. Well, I don't really need that kind of help, but I find he's very useful for the HOV lane. You know, recently he was in the hospital and he wasn't doing very well, and the doctors phoned me up and they said, you know, we may have to pull the plug. And I said, oh God, no, please don't. Let me do it. But don't feel sorry for him. My niece is a travel agent, and she said he came into her shop the other day, and he was trying to book me on a cruise to the Bermuda Triangle. Cheap bastard, that's a one-way trip. You know, I lose weight a lot. I gain and lose weight a lot. Every time I lose weight, I take all my fat clothes and I give them away to charity. Problem is, 2 months later, I'm down at the Sally Ann wrestling a homeless person with my old wardrobe. No, I actually don't give them all away. In fact, I have a closet full of everything from XX small to XX large. Or as I like to call it, no frickin' way and any day now. You know the Real Housewives of Vancouver, well, they're all over the place, but the Real Housewives of Vancouver, scrawny, skanky, skinny, and slutty. Well, I'm sorry, but I don't think they're the Real Housewives of Vancouver. I think my friends and I actually are the Real Housewives of Vancouver. You know what I mean, middle age, middle income, and a whole lot of weight around the middle. You know, in fact, my friends actually look good. Matter of fact, a little too good. So I've recently dumped them in favor of a new set of friends. They look like this. The elderly. You know, it's been great for my ego. These old people, they listen to all my jokes, especially the ones that are bedridden, comatose, or heavily medicated. And I beat them in a foot race every single time. Although, you have to be careful, because some of them are a little cagey. The other day, one of them stuck out her cane. But don't worry, I retaliated. I got a cane of my own. You know, the elderly as a friend, they're actually a lot of work. And you know, I really don't mind helping them on and off with their coats, in and out of the car, and even sometimes I don't mind having to help them eat. But I'll be damned if I'm going to change their shit-laden diaper. Sorry, that was rude. They're called Depends. You know, I'm middle-aged. That's assuming that I live to be 114. I'll let you do the math. At my age, I find it's best to wear what I call camouflage clothing. Just like I'm wearing now. Tops with swirling patterns kind of confuse the eye. From the side, 5 months pregnant. From the front, who knows what's going on? You know, my friend called me the other night. She said, Joanne, I saw you at that party. You were dancing. You were really grooving to the music. Well, in fact, I wasn't dancing. I was just doing everything in my power to keep myself head on to everybody in the room at exactly the same time. Just like I'm doing now. Well, that's it for me. Enjoy the rest of the show.